Em português é Inglaterra, em inglês is England. In English is England. Em português é Inglaterra. England's history is long and complex, with events that shaped not only the country but also the world. Here is a summary of the main periods and events in the history of England. 1. Prehistory and Antiquity. Before the arrival of the Romans, the region we now know as England was inhabited by Celtic tribes. They were organized into different kingdoms, and their culture was heavily influenced by nature and pagan beliefs. 2. Roman conquest, 43 AD, 410 AD. In 43 AD, the Roman Empire invaded Britannia, the Roman name for the region, and began colonizing what is now England. During the almost 400 years of Roman rule, infrastructure was significantly developed, with the construction of roads, cities, and fortifications. The Pax Romana brought relative peace to the region, but in 410 AD, with the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Romans abandoned Britain. 3. Germanic invasions and the Anglo-Saxons, 5th to 8th centuries. After the Romans withdrew, England was invaded by Germanic tribes, such as the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, who established several kingdoms. This era saw the Christianization of England, with missionaries such as St. Augustine of Canterbury. During this period, the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms flourished, but they also faced invasions from Vikings from the 8th century onwards. 4. The Norman Conquest, 1066. In 1066, King Harold II of England was defeated by William, Duke of Normandy, at the Battle of Hastings. This victory by William the Conqueror began Norman rule over England. The Norman conquest brought significant changes to English society, such as the introduction of a feudal system and the restructuring of the nobility. 5. Middle Ages, 12th to 15th centuries. From the 12th century onwards, England experienced periods of growth and stability, but also internal and external conflicts, such as the Hundred Years' War, 1337 to 1453, against France, which was marked by famous battles and figures such as Joan of Arc and Prince Henry V. In the 13th century, King John was forced to sign Magna Carta, 1215, which limited royal powers and established important rights for nobles. This document is considered a landmark in the history of human rights and the Constitution of England. 6. Renaissance and the Tudor era, 16th to 17th centuries. The reign of Henry VIII, 1509 to 1547, was one of the most important periods in English history. Henry broke with the Roman Catholic Church and created the Anglican Church, largely due to his dispute with the Pope over his divorce. This resulted in the English Reformation and a series of religious tensions. His daughter, Elizabeth I, 1558 to 1603, consolidated England as a naval power, defeating the Spanish Armada in 1588, and reinforced Protestantism, which brought a long period of stability and prosperity. 7. Industrial Revolution and Imperial Victory, 18th to 19th centuries. The end of the 18th century and the 19th century marked the Industrial Revolution, which transformed England from an agrarian society into an industrial power. This brought profound economic and social changes, including the growth of cities and improved transport and communications. During the Victorian Empire, 1837 to 1901, England became the center of the world's largest colonial empire, with territories on every continent, and London was a center of finance, culture, and politics. 8. 20th century, world wars and social change. The 20th century was marked by two major conflicts, the First World War, 1914 to 1918, and the Second World War, 1939 to 1945. England, as part of Great Britain, suffered enormous human and material losses during these wars. After the Second World War, England began to lose its empire and went through a process of decolonization. The country also experienced significant social changes, including the growth of the welfare state, NHS, the promotion of civil rights, and immigration from countries in the British Empire. 9. Contemporary era, 21st century. In more recent times, England has undergone a series of political and economic changes, including joining and leaving the European Union, Brexit. The question of national identity and debates over Scottish independence also continue to be important themes. England remains a constitutional monarchy, with the Queen or King serving as head of state, while the government is led by the Prime Minister.